Good afternoon and welcome to Clarity. My name's Barbara Gray and I'm set to entertain you and show you a few lovely products during our Grey Friday sale, which ends at midnight today. So come on in. Welcome to the party. I'm afraid that our Paul is not feeling very well, so he's gone home. So it's just you and me, folks. But I'm sure I'll be able to keep you entertained for at least an hour. And I've got two demos to show you. So I've got a brand new set of stamps and a brand new Groovi Plate, which is also included in the Grey Friday special prices. So usually, of course, on during the sales, brand new things don't get included. But we said that we'd loop that in. And it's the 1st of December. So if you were in the shack this morning, then you'll know. Well, we had a really good session in the shack this morning, doodling those great trees with the triangle masks. I think they are they're worth exploring. Did you see what we were up to? I think you might enjoy those. Our lovely Grace is in the room with us all the way from Brooklyn. So thank you, Grace. She says the sound is great. And the weather is awful outside here. So I don't know what it's like where you are, but this is perfect weather for crafting. What's the weather like in New York, our Grace? Do tell us. Now let me see. Let's see if a few friends can find us first, and then let's have a look at a couple of rules of engagement first. So you can see if you're going to be shopping with us, there are ways to shop with Clarity. If I go to this particular L on the side here, let's just see. You can see at the top it says 12242. So that's the product code. Now, if you go to our website, claritystamp.com along the bottom, or claritycrafts.com, all roads lead to the same place. You'll find when you get there, there'll be a green screen, like a little green button. And if you click that, it says Clarity TV on it. If you click that, it will take you through to our studio and also to our show shop, which means that everything that I'm demonstrating, anything that's included, it will all be, for the one-stop shopper, it will all be in that area there. However, if you put in 12242, it will take you to the product. The other thing you can do, of course, is get your pen, write down what you want, and then call Sue downstairs on 01732 868 215. If Sue's busy taking an order, the phone will jump to Lou. So you're either going to get Sue or Lou, one or the other. But they're both waiting for your call and happy to help. So there you go. That's how you shop at Clarity. If you prefer to speak to a human, then call Sue and Lou. And if you prefer to shop online and take your time, then, of course, that's the way to go, claritycrafts.com. And the other thing is that when you go to claritycrafts.com, you'll see not only is the video there or this live recording, you can go back and watch that anytime. So it's like a catch-up place. And the other thing that you'll find is that there are downloads. So, for example, the two demos that I'm going to do today, let me show you the two demos. For example, these two little cards, because it's, it's Mini Makes Monday. So, of course, we're going petite. And we like small, don't we? So you can see here, I'm going to use, first of all, the new stamp set, and then an old stencil, and old stamps, and a new word. So I just thought this would be a really nice little pair of cards to do or make with you today. But what we've got, of course, is our digi-downloads. So these now are available to you. It tells you exactly what time, when, which project, what was made, and what was used. So this is a great project sheet, and it gives you just ideas, you know. It's a lovely colour printout. It's a lot of you, I know, you download them, you print them off and you put them in a folder because it's a great reference place. And it means that if, say, 3 months down the road, you think, how did she do that border with the ruler down the sides? And then you can flick through your projects and you go, ah, there it is. How did she do that? Let's have a look. When did she do it? That's what she did. Click, click, click. And all those shows are recorded for your convenience in that spot. They're also available, of course, on YouTube. Many of you at the moment will be watching on YouTube too. So, so there you go. That's how it works here. And so without further ado, let's take a look at the new BIP the Bear celebration set, because we decided, since it's the 1st of December, we thought we'd get a stamp set going. Here we are. So we'll just pop him over to one side. We'll dissect that in a minute. So let's just take a look here. We've got a celebration set, ho, ho, ho. And you can see it's birthdays, Christmas, all in one. He's wrapped up. You can decorate him. He's great. And of course, he comes with masks, and the masks are boxed, which means that if you want the outside or the inside, you haven't got to chop the mask up. It comes to you ready boxed. What I mean by that is, for example, if I wanted to stamp the birthday cake, but then I want the outside, not just the inside, you see it comes boxed. So now I've got the mask for the actual stamp here, but I've also got the outside mask, which exactly fits over the top. So I just want to detack it a little bit, just like so. And then that way it won't stick quite so much on the first use. See, and then as you go down like that, once you've stamped it, there you go, pop that in place. And now I could colour in and so on, and it fits perfectly. When I've finished, I can take that away. You can use them again and again. These masks, they're repositionable, and they're included in the pack, so you don't have to buy them extra. They come with the stamps. So you can see here, usually set this size. If you look at the on the left here, 12242, BIP the Bear celebrates. It's an A5 square stamp and mask set. So usually the RRP on that would be £16.75. You're going to save £5 and 3p because it's included in the sale. So you're getting 30% off a third, if you like. So now you're paying £11.72. But if you're a club member and you're in one of our clubs, then you'll save more. You'll save £6.20 and you'll only pay £10.55. 2 clubs, 12.5%. 3 clubs, if you're one of our diamond members, then you will only pay £9.96 for this set of stamps, and you will save £6.79. So this is an A5 square stamp set. It's substantial, and we've got lots of lovely images which are useful for both birthdays, celebrations, and Christmas. I like the New Year's. They're good. And this is where the masks really come in useful. So 12242 gets you that new set. And then, because of course we need the same for our groovers, we've got a really lovely set of Groovi Plate, A5 square, with all the same lovely images. What we did do here is we boxed the words, because we know how much easier it is if you box the words for cutting them out. So you'll see that on our Groovi Plate, we've boxed the words as well with a double line. So really lovely, useful to use. And this again is your BIP the Bear celebrates Groovi Plate A5 square, and that's just £7.34. If, on the other hand, you're saving £3.15, if you're one of our club members, if you're a diamond club, you only pay £6.24 for this brand new plate today. There you go. So those are the 2 plates. We don't have any artwork because they are fresh off the press. One of the things I wanted to point out as well, while we're looking at BIP the Bear, is that it's, of course, it's our annual treasure hunt on the website. Always on the first day of December, we launch 24 days, like an advent, and we have a hunt. And sometimes it's gnomes. I can't remember. Last year, I think it was the Nutcracker. And this year, it's BIP. So you will find him hiding all over the website for the next 24 days. And if you haven't received the email telling you the clue, because I write like a little rhyming couplets, little riddles that give you a clue where to look. And then when you find him, then you'll also find, not only are you going to make a note of the product, because you're going to send us that list, right? Make a note of the product. You're also going to, he'll be with a letter, like a letter of the alphabet. You're going to collect the letters a day at a time. And those letters then, there's one day, it's got 2 letters, beware. And then you collect those letters and they create an anagram. And then when you move the letters around, you'll see it gives you a lovely message. And then you take that message and you take all your answers and you email them to us, and there's a special email address that you send it to, and then you get put in a drawer, and if your name is pulled out of the hat, then you will win a £200 Clarity gift hamper. There you go. Got to be in it to win it, friends. So it's BIP the Bear you're looking for. And if, for example, you aren't receiving the email, you got choices. You could, for example, go to claritycrafts.com, scroll to the bottom of the front page, and right at the bottom it says subscribe to our emails. If you just pop your email in there and subscribe to our emails, then we'll be sure to send you the clue every morning, along with any other promotional things that we think you should know. We don't bombard you, and we certainly don't give your address to anybody else. So if you haven't signed up to our emails, then maybe that would be a good idea. I think if you do that, it may be that we even, we send you, when I blog as well, that may get sent automatically too. Or perhaps you have to sign up for the blog to get that. But either way, there are lots of ways for you to stay in touch with us and so that we can keep you company. Right, so what else have I got on the table? Oh yeah, okay. So that's the first set, and I'm going to do a demo with that. And then there was another set of Christmas stamps that I wanted to flag up. Let's just take a look at this tiny little mini-mate. This is a 4x4 little card. I thought it'd be just lovely to do that. Let's come in a bit closer so you can see it better. So where did she find that tree? Well, this morning we were doing trees, weren't we? Which came out really nice. Now, I don't know if you were watching this morning, but I can show you. 'Tis the season for trees. So this morning we did these little trees. Again, that's a 4x4. Actually, we went large, didn't we? We did these trees. Don't they come out lovely, eh? And the way we did that, well, actually in the shack, we doodled them with aperture. We cut out the apertures and all sorts. But then in the meantime, we figured out that this would be a much smarter way to go. So our shack triangle trees are the ways that we created these triangles. And these comprise 3 sets of masks. So we've got medium triangle trees, we've got small triangle trees, and then we've got large triangle trees, complete with moons and landscapes down the bottom. Now, it might be a really good idea for you to treat yourself to those, because they are so lovely to use, really lovely to use. So there you go, the shack triangle trees. Just Grace, I'm sure that Grace will be good enough to put up the link. So that's what we were doing this morning. But now, where did I find this tree? Well, You'll be pleased to see it's a really old favourite. And all I've done is taken the top part, because it's Mini Makes Monday, you'll see I've just used the top part of the tree. There you go. And I stopped it there. So, you know, when you're looking at a large stencil like that, just bear in mind the tree can be any size you fancy. Okay. So this is also available online with lots of other trees, and you'll see here this is 50% off actually. So, and there are several stencils that are 50% off, and this is one of them. You'll see here it says 00305, and that's a 7-inch stencil. You can see here it's £3.25 for that fabulous stencil. So something to consider. Yeah. Let's see where I'm going now. Just bear with me. There it is. So I'm back on the screen again now, and you can see that that's a demo that we'll come to later. So yeah, check out the stencils, because we've got some great prices on those. And when you look at this particular card, you'll notice also the wee folk. They're my favourites. We use them all the time. And so I said, let's get them out the cupboard because we love them. So these are our Christmas duo. And once again, they're also on the also in the sale. Let me see here. So it's 10047. You can see on your screens now. So you get 2 of these wonderful We Arts chains. Well, they're not chains anymore. They're individual stamps. So you've got Santa, the elves, children with the snow fight, a lovely tree, and a snowman. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stamps there. There they are. And then we've got the tree, the children decorating the tree, which is the 2 that I've used here. That's these 2 here. And then you've got the ice skater, deer, and then you've also got, here we go, got Santa in his sleigh and the deer, which you obviously can stamp multiple times. He's not dragging it by himself, just stamp out all his mates as well. So these are available individually, 10045, 10046, altogether 10047, and you're paying a mere £14.69 for both of those lovely sets. That saves £6.29 plus your club discount, whichever club or clubs you happen to be in. And you can just scroll down below the retail price or the sale price, and you can see exactly what you will be paying if you choose to buy these. So these are, I wanted to show you some artwork actually, because these are such a staple for my money. And you'll see immediately as I start to show them now, you'll see the stamps. So I'm just going to pop those to one side, and you can see now exactly where the trees are coming from. Here he is there. So you can see this is a great one. These are lovely cards. Look. So who did these? This is another lovely card. You can see there with the ice skater and the snowman from this one. Santa on his sled on the roof. The children. There's the tree here. Lovely little scenes. This is a nice one inside the house now. So we've got the boy and girl, same as I've got here. And with the tree, there's the tree there, which gives you the opportunities to draw those in. And then we've got some really cool pieces of artwork here. So this is another lovely one with the moon and Noel. Now, that's gorgeous. Here's a bag that Dee did. Love that as well, using the snow fight. Isn't that lovely, just in blue? What a gorgeous thing. This is a Carol P one, I know without even looking. Season's greetings. So this is something else I wanted to flag up. It's the words. I really, really love these word chain words. So if we could just take a look at these. you'll see here, I don't have them on our screen, but I could show you here. This is Merry Christmas, Peace on Earth, say, or Peace at Christmas. Yeah, so you've got at and on, and then you can decide. Now you've got seasons, greetings, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. That's why I really think they're great for a pair. Noel on its own, seasons, greetings. You see, so you've got lots of different combinations. Peace at Christmas. Nice, aren't they? And when you see them stamped out, these are still some of the best stamps we've ever done. Very funky. I designed them myself. I really like the way the fonts are laid up together. They're like funky letters. They just sit right. And when you see them stamped out, it just look beautiful. So let's just take a look here. If you wanted Happy Seasons, Greetings and Noel, it's 10061. If you wanted Merry Christmas, Peace on our Earth, it's 10060. I recommend you go for both, especially because they're in the Black Friday, Grey Friday sale. So if you enter the number 11305, then you're going to sign up for both of those. So I think they're just a lovely big font, and they can take center stage. They just look nice together. So I noticed that they were obviously being used a lot with these wee folk, and you can see here, look, they just work really nicely. Greetings on its own, Christmas. What a beautiful little notelet set. And here's a great bag again to go with it. Really nice, eh? There, look, Merry Christmas. And the wee folk, they just stand very nicely on the letters. They just fit well. So I think you get the picture. Here's another really nice one to finish on. Oh no, here's another one that you can see here how well those words play with the stamps that we're looking at. Isn't that nice? To me, the word chains work beautifully with the wee folk. They dance well together. And so there you go. That's the artwork that I wanted to showcase today. It's quite a treat looking back at those. And just to recap, we've got the wee folk, as you can see on the screen. 10047 gets you that pair. And then we've got Merry Christmas and the Noel set. And I'm sure that Grace will set you up with the product code there. Good. So what else did I want to show you quickly before we crack on with the demo? Cool. They're lovely too, aren't they? Okay. One more thing just before I forget. This is cool. We've got the white Posca pen back in stock and the red one. And I'm going to show you a trick with the red one. That's how I coloured this little fella in. But let's get started. And I think we'll begin, you can see here, so the Posca pens, let me just check for a moment and let me just see if I can find the Posca pen. Just bear with me 1 minute. There they are. So that's the white one. You can see here, £3.80. And then I think there's a 20% saving on that. And then we've got the brand new, the red one in stock. So you can see the red one, well worth putting in your basket. And the numbers either on the screen or here are red 31932, white 31719. Brilliant snow. And this one, well, it's a game changer. So I'm going to show you a trick with that. Good. How are you? Everybody there? Let's see. This chair is really getting on my pip. Right, you ready? Let's have a look. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at this little guy. So if we take a look at this particular demo, then we can see, I'm going to deconstruct it so you can see what I'm up to. Right, so I've got that little, I just put it together with low tack tape because that way you can see how I construct it. So I've got that, and then I've got this as well. Okay, so I'll just take that off there. Okay, so we can get rid of all that. Now let's have a look. I've got a 5 by 5 inch card blank. Then I've used our, these are great. These are our nested square doodle dies. Now these ones are super because they, let me just grab this one and pan out a little bit so you can see it better. Then we'll come back to center stage. But you know, very often this is what makes the card, is this finishing trick. So we're going to use this particular die cutting, and there are 10 dies in here. My favorite is the nested square. I like the film strip, okay? And this one is the one that gives you the panels. So if you only use, for example, this piece from the back, if I just select this one here, okay, then what I'll get is that, you see, that's my panel, which is what I got, except I put it in red. I did it in red. So now I've got 2 panels, and I can set him on there, or I can set him on there. If I've got if I want a larger panel, you see, then I can pick which one. This one is this one here, but look at all the different panels you've got. And this is a fantastic die. There are several of them. Do look them up. This one is called the Nested Square Doodle. What a mouthful. Frame. It's film strip frames and panels. And the number is 31384. So you've got all those different possibilities. See, I'm not a die cutter, but I really think this is fantastic. So this one is 31384. Now, here's the thing. If you cut them out individually like this, then that's what you get. And you get so it's got a cutting edge around the outside, but not on the inside. Okay, think of it like that. But if I were to take, let's have a look, that one there, let's take the next one in, just cause, right? Let me just grab this one as well to show you the point that I'm making. I could grab any one of these, but I'm going to go with the one inside. So now I'm going to let's cut this one, and then I'm going to cut this one as well, right? Let's cut those 2 together. So what I'll get, if I do this, I'll get that one, because I've added a cut on the inside. This one will give me that. So I'll not only get a small panel there, but that outside cutting edge also gave me a cutting edge for that. So I get that and this panel as well inside. So it's a fantastic piece of kit to my mind. If I were to, in theory, if I were to use all these together and cut them all out at the same time, then I'd end up with all the cutting. I'd end up with all of these like that, right? So the inside just dictates another cutting edge on the inside. There you go. So I don't know if this is about, I'm making this about as clear as mud, but I think if I were to put that one on there, then what that would do is give me an outer cutting edge, and then I'd have I'd have another little panel in there, that size. Do you get it? Then it would be that size. So there you go. That's to me, that's a fantastic piece of kit. There are several of them. I'm just going to show you the one for now, because I want to get on with this demo. But I really, really like these nested frame with panel ones. 31384, and it's in the sale. So worth having a look at. Now let's have a look. Where are we going to start? So of course, the first place, I just take these, I'm going to move these bits up here out of the way. And now I'm going to go to my little 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece of card. So bear with me while I find, there are my stamps. Here's my stuff to use. and we're going to take it slowly, take it gently. So there's my 5-inch card blank. There's my 3.5 by 3.5 inch card that we use all the time. I've got my mask ready to go. And here's the thing, if I want to put, let's take a look at the stamp. So this little fella, he sits like, Jazz designed him deliberately with his legs splayed like that. Let's come in a bit closer so you can see. So that we could then add, for example, a cake in front of him or a parcel, you see? So depending on whether you're going birthday, so then you could pop him in front like that, or you could, they all come with masks, so it's a really good thing to do. But let's just see, if I want to pop the parcel in front of him, then I've got this is basic stamping here. I've got to pop this in first, then cover that up with a mask, and then add the bear around the outside. So let's see how we get on. So we're just going to ink up. Now, before we do this, I just need a little bit of copy paper, because you know what we're going to do. One's for test and one's for best. So I'm just going to pop this up here, and let's just while we're on this subject, let's pop BIP the Bear, the stamp set that I'm using, back into Vision. So it's 12242 for this particular set. Now let's have a look. I just want to press that into place. Nice. So where does he need to go? Well, I'm going to pop him in the middle, about 1/2 inch up. So we just do this, pop in like that, and I've already done my prototype, so I know, don't I? I've already tested and made sure that it fits in the right place. So now I'm going to take my mask, which I've used. It's already well loved, but it works, and it's going to work again. And I'm just going to cover up the parcel now. Yeah. And let's go to BIP the Bear. So I need to mask. See, and the good thing is that once I've already stamped him, see this line here? That's his legs, actually. Do you see? So I can see exactly where I'm going to go with him. Yeah, I can come down a bit further as well if I want to, but it makes sense for him to be a little bit, that'll work, like so. Yeah, fine. I should have brought this down a little bit further, but that'll do. He's just going to be up a bit higher. That's all right. We'll work around that. You watch. You work with what you got, friends, okay? So let's have a look. We're going to ink him up, and then we'll just, I'm just going to move over a little bit. In a minute, you'll hear a crash as everything goes to the right. So pop that in there like that. Right, here we go. So we'll ink him up well. Make sure that he's nice, and black archival ink always works best. And then I'm just going to pop that in, so like so, and then he's in. Right, and then we'll press in the center of the stamp, and then just mega mount 4x4 takes all these stamps. See, it will take all of them really well. So that should work well. And then we'll just lift that up. Hopefully we'll get a good impression. Nice. And then when we lift this off, what you'll see is so the mask has done its job, and we'll just replace that on here like so. Right, and then once we've done that, really it's a question of colouring in. You know, it really is that easy. But I'm thinking that while we're just doing our layout, how about I show you how to do the outside as well? We can frame him at the same time. So in order to do that, I'm going to use a ruler. I'm going to use a black micron pen. We sell micron pens, they're in the sale. Anything that we do that's non-clarity is 20% off plus your club discount. So even that's good. And the Micron pens, I'm sure they're here somewhere. There they are. There you go, you see. So you get a set of 7, 30778. And you get all these different sizes. These are what the artists use. They're black, waterproof, archival, fade-proof fine line. They're exactly what you need. And I use them all the time. Really, I do. So let's see what we can do. And we're gonna, let's have a look. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just add a couple of lines. Okay, so I'm gonna go just like so, like that. I'm not going to overthink it, but what I'm doing is I'm giving myself a couple of doodle opportunities. So go like that, open that up, like that. Then I'm going to turn it round. Actually, I think I'll do the one at the top as well. And because I'm working with a black Micron pen, and I don't want to, I'm going to just make sure that I'm cleaning the ruler as I go. Okay, so let's go again. This ruler's a bit grungy. Oh, well, that'll do. So now I'm going to go here as well. And I'm going to just make sure, because it's a little bit tight on the top, but that's okay. So we'll start over here and we'll go slowly. If you go too fast, sometimes it doesn't, it's not black enough. So we just go like so. There you go. So we've got those. Let's turn it around and have a look. Yeah, cool. And then we'll bring in the sides. So we'll just do the same thing on the sides. Interesting. And then I think on this one, we're going to put the cross up there where the crossover's at the top. See? Like that. And then up here, we'll put the crossover down the bottom now. So just going to, but it's a really nice, easy way to get some good colouring opportunities. You see, every time I overlap, you see, you've got colouring places or places where you can add, like, it's really nice. Got it? So that's how we do these outside edges as well. And then as far as the colouring goes, this is where we just really enjoy 10 minutes of colouring. So I wanted to, I'm going to sling this chair. In a minute, you're going to hear a crash and it's going to be going out. Right. Let me just show you a couple of little colouring tricks. So as far as the colours that I've picked go, let me see. I'm using polychromos. So first of all, let's concentrate on the bear. So I say we're gonna go with the bear. So we're just gonna add a bit of grey. Let's see if maybe, right. So we're just gonna add a little bit of colour. So the polychromos, what we did, we put together 4 sets of polychromos: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And if we just take a quick look here, just bear with me a second. I can't do this and show you that, but I can show you, for example, they're our essential set. 31031, that's all the greys and the metallics, the light blues. It is the essential set. So I'll leave that one there for a minute. And you can just take a note. If you haven't got these, they're worth every penny. These are the Faber-Castell polychromos, and they're like the B pencils in the Pergoliner family. They're oil-based. They're great. They're my go-to and always have been. So there you go. That's the first thing. Let's just add a little bit of that colour. And then let me take you to another colour. You'll see if we go, just bear with me a second. What have we got here? Spring. So now we're going into the lighter, the newer colours. And if we go to the spring set, these are those there. And you can see I've got just a lovely spring collection, and you can see the colours. I just put them into a glass and then I'll pick from them. Spring is 31900. And then there's, of course, there's summer, which I'll get to in a minute. And that one is, just bear with me, summer. There you go. Summer, another set of £16.50, 31901. These are nice colours. Let's have a look. I've got them here. You can see they've got brighter. And the thing is that these sets of 6, what's brilliant about them, I picked them myself. And what I like is that you've got 6, 12, 18, you've got 24 plus 12. So you've got 36 pencils in total here. Now, normally, the 36 that you get when you buy a tin of 36 are more basic colours. I've gone through my whole stash of 180 of them, and I've really picked lovely matching colours. Okay, so it's a bit, I'm not going to call it cheeky. I've picked spring, summer, autumn and winter, and you'll find that the colour combinations are rather special. So let's take a look again at, so we've got autumn, and you can see here the autumn colours are delightful, and you'll see the colours that I've picked. As soon as you see them, you'll get it. So this is £16.50 for a set of 6 again, plus your club discount. And we're looking at 31902 for the autumn ones. All of these will be easy to find in the in that one-stop shopping area. Grace will give you the links, I'm sure. And then we've got the winter set. And you can see here, the winter's got that fabulous sage and a really dark pine green and a dark, beautiful blue, ultramarine, bluish turquoise. So very, very lovely colours. And then I put in a nice coral, because corals and turquoises just sit beautifully together. So there you go. Those are the pencils that I'm using here. And I'm not going to say, oh, this is from that set, or it doesn't, it's not important. It's just a collection, a selection. So for example, I'm just going to go in with a grey now and add a little bit of grey, and you can see the darker you get, you just add layer on layer. Now let's just take a look, because I didn't want to spend too long doing this, but the thing is they are layering pencils. So what I mean by that is that you can go over the top, and I'm just adding a little bit of depth around here. Let's just go in here, for example, into his snout. Right, here we go. And then I'm going to take that Payne's grey that's in the dark set. You can see the trick with polychromos. I mean, I could spend hours just colouring, because to me it's just a delightful pastime. It's one of the most mindful processes, I think. Right, let's just take a look. But you can see how you can layer up pencils on top of one another. So I'm taking a darker brown now. I find what looks quite good is if you kind of stay away from the actual line art. Remember, this is a stamped image. Let's take that. We'll just add a little bit of, yeah, just tone that brown down. Right, this is going to look good. And then I think I'm going to go into my essential colour, and I'm going to take that dark grey. It looks like black, but it's not. It's Payne's grey. And I'm just going to use this one. Actually, maybe use a little lighter one. Let's just go into a slightly lighter colour. Right, and we want to leave it a little reflection on his nose. So circular, I'm just doing round and round and round. That's what I'm doing over and over again. Right, so we've got circular motion like that, but I'm leaving that white highlight at the top. See that? Let's see if we can come in really tight so you can see that. Is that a bit furry? Let's see. There, is that clearer now? Right, now let's see if, and then I'm going to take that dark colour and I'm just going to highlight that bit there. Do you see? So now I've got my dark, just dark highlight there. And I can use greys, the greys in that essential set, to just create that illusion of depth. You know, you can use brown as well, but I find that the grey is a great colour for adding depth. There you go. So it's just neutral, isn't it? So you just, provided you don't press too hard, just keep going again and again and again. There you go. We did a little bit of colouring this morning as well. So, and we do in the shack too, don't we? So I'm trying to travel gently here and not add too much depth. But once I've got this guy in place, then it's time to check out the colours. So I'll pop those back into my essential glass, this one, okay? So I'll pop that back in there. Now let's take a look. I'm going to go for this nice tealy colour. And I'm just going to add, it's like a pine colour. Let's just add a little layer. And I'm going to make sure that I leave room for a red stripe. So I don't want to spend too long on this, but this is worth showing. So you kind of got to look at what you're colouring in. Where are you going with this? Then I can add layers now. Because it's a scarf, it's okay to be a little textured, isn't it? And you can make this as dark or as light as you like. Just keep adding layer on layer. You don't have to add pressure. You just have to add layers. There you go. So now I've done that. Yeah, you see? And you can add, if you use a sharp, you can even add like a knit effect. There you go. Depends how much time you want to spend on it, really. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the parcel now. Okay, and then we'll look at the jumper. Is that okay? How are you enjoying your afternoon? Good? Funny old day today. Weather's awful. Well, it is here. Gracie says, blue skies and crisp after a very rainy Sunday in New York. There we are. We had a very rainy Saturday, and then it cleared up. Yesterday was nice and crisp. Right, so let's just add a bit of, that'll work. Okay. Now let's see, I need, from the essential set, I'm going to go with what's called cream or Strohgelb. And I'm going to use the same the red's the last thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to use the same blue for the jumper, just a little stripe. Now let me see, what's the best way to do this? If I add, right, you can't see what I'm doing, but I've got to make a note of what I'm doing. I'm going to do a little bit of a plaid, and I'm going to press quite hard like that, and I'm making a stripe. There we go. So I'm just putting the stripes in. Can you see that? And then I'm going to bring the stripe down this way as well, and this way. Right, stripe down the arm, stripe down the arm. That'll be good. And there's a little bit of a stripe going in there too. Right, now let's see. And then I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to come over the top. Let's see what happens if I come over the top of this one. Let's see, we should get a little bit of a Here we go. So we just lightly go over the top, and what you'll see is the yellow acts as a resist. That creamy colour acts as almost like a resist. So you can come in now. There we are. And you won't eliminate. See, it's cool. You won't eliminate the yellow or the cream colour. So it's better to do the light colour first, and then you can see where you're going. Right. If you've got a blending pen, that works really well as well. So I pinched the blending pen this morning because I was showing you a trick. But if you take the blending pen like that and you just blend through, you'll find it works really well. And the same on the green here. Look, see, when you should be able to see how this smooths out the texture from the pencil. Can you see that? It works really nicely. So we've got the jumper. Didn't take so long, did it? Now you've got to decide, is he wearing trousers or is he wearing shorts? I don't know. If he's wearing shorts, he needs his bumps felt in this weather. So let's see if we go. I'm going to go for, I think he needs to wear red trousers. And then we're going to put a little bit more of this colour in the hat, a bit of balance. He's a bit of a designer bip. Let's have a look. And then I'll show you how to bring this whole thing to life with the red pencil. It's quite cool. Right, so red. You'll find these pens, when you treat yourself, if you haven't already got polychromos, they are an exceptional piece of kit. They're a game changer, really. Right, so we've got everything now except the red. Okay, so let's take a look. And where is my red pen? Okay, let's just move these out of the way, and then we'll start with the red, because I want to show you a little trick. Okay, just get it started, and then we'll get started. Okay, good. So we've got the red. We'll start at the top and we'll work our way down. I want my polychrome. I'm going to wear my Dame Edna's for this one. That's better. Right, excuse my head if it's in the way. And now I'm just going to add some red to my picture. And the red is super opaque. So it just works so well. If you go over the black, then it will cover it up. But, you know, that's what your black micron pens are for. You can always go back. I'm trying to avoid the black, just to I'm showing off really how detailed you can get with this red Posca pen. But let's just add a little flash of colour. Doesn't that look good? Right. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long. Just add a little bit of red as we go down. I had it red and white to start with, but it looks a little bit too nationalistic. I thought I'd better put a flash of green in. Yeah, he did. Right, now, with the ribbon, see how you can leave a little bit of white? There you go. Let's check this out. Let's see. So I tell you what I'm going to do. Just bear with me a second. I need to get the right, I want to just find the right ultra fine red pen. There you go, 31932. I'm sure that Grace is going to give you a link. And what you're going to do with the pen, look, you see, you can practice on scrap first, is you're going to leave as if it was satin, and you're going to leave a strip. So that way, a little stripe of white, And then when you fill this piece in, it looks like the light is hitting it. Do you see? And you're going to do the same over on this side. So you just, I mean, if you forget to do this, that's not a problem either. You just wait until it's, see how good it looks? You could always go back in with a white Posca pen over the top when you've, see, but wherever the light wants to hit, you just do that, okay, like so. And then you're going to put some light. So you can practice on this bit. There we are, like that. Okay, so let's do it on this one now. Let's see. So I'm going to put a line on there and there. I can always make it tighter if I, you know, if I've made the light, if I made it too wide, that's not a problem. I can always tighten it up. There we are. See? Looks good. Let me put my other glasses on. How are we doing? And then if you've gone over the red, over the black, then you know afterwards, once it's dry, not a problem. You're just going to go back and once it's dry, you just go back and reintroduce the lines with a black micron pen. That's fine. There you go. And then you just got to decide where your light's going to hit that satin ribbon, and then make a little line. So it didn't take too long, did it, this? There. And got a little bit of, maybe a bit of light there as well. Nice! A little bit of light there. There you go. So there's the ribbon done. And then, of course, we can add ribbon to this area as well. So that's easy to know how to do it. And then the other thing is this bit here. So we're pretty much doing everything here. And then we're going to come in here and we can just put our lid on that. And we'll use our black micron pen for this. And then we'll make some dividers. So opportunities for colouring in. So you can go like a couple of lines like that. A couple of lines up here. A couple of boxes. You could do squiggles. You often see squiggles as well. You often see that. Looks quite cool. A couple of dots. You could put a red dot there. Do you see? It's whatever you fancy. And then when you've done that, then you can colour those bits in as well. So these are just where this overlap is. It's a colouring opportunity. See, another one down here. It's whatever you fancy doing. It just adds a little something, doesn't it? And then you can just go in there and just infill whatever you fancy. So I like this look. It's very Mondrian, isn't it? There you go. Like that. Maybe a little one up there for balance. And so it goes on. So you can see how you can add this. Right, so once there, didn't take too long. Now let's go to the one that I've already done because he's dry. He's definitely dry. And I want to show you a trick. Because if you look at if you look at the red, this is the one that's dry, the one that I've already done. This is the one that's still drying. But what you'll find is it dries matte. The red dries matte. So if we go to, let's have a look at this camera here. If we look at the hat on, let's have a look. Let's see. You'll see it's quite matte, isn't it? Now watch what happens if I take a blending pen and I'm just gonna go over half the bit. Let me see if I can show you by just going over half the hat. If I stop there, just do that bit. And then I'll just go in there and I'll just do that bit there. And you can feel it when you do this. It's like you're buffing it. Let me show you if you can see. Let's go into this camera. Let's just see if you can see half the hat. I've got the wrong glasses on to be able to do this. Right, now, if we... I don't know if you can see this. I will... It goes super glossy. Oh, come on. I know you're there. It goes super glossy. Right, look at the... Okay, look at the parcel. See the... Can you see the dots on the... and the bow? I've already glossed that. I've already buffed it. Let me go in and do just scarf. Anything that's got a bit of red to it. I know I've already done. It's super smooth, you can tell. Let's go into the hat and let's do this. So it's really super red, and then it goes absolutely glossy, like UV, spot UV. It's like. So now if I come in there, you see the hat is super glossy now, and it was. See, I don't know. I'm not showing you very well here. I'm rubbish at this bit. Oh, let's see what we've got here. Bear with me a second. There. But it's really impressive when you're doing it up front, when you're doing it right in up close, and you can see how it changes from really matte to really glossy instantly. So that's something that I didn't know, and you can feel it as well when you go over it with a blending pen. So that led me to think, oh, hang on a minute. So does that work with a white one as well? Well, yes, it does. So if you put white stars in your dark blue sky and then you let them dry and then you go over them with a blending pen, they suddenly get glossy instead of matte. I know, who knew, eh? So that's something worth bearing in mind, that the red Posca, well, all the acrylic paints, when you buff them, they go shiny. There you go. So there's my there's two of my Christmas cards done. Now I wonder if he's dry now. So you can see the difference between glossy. I can see it here, and this one's matte. Now I'm struggling to show you though. So I don't know. Yeah, see the shiny one and the matte one. Let's have a look. You can definitely see the difference. This one is the shiny one and the other one is the matte one, right? So then if I take this one and this is the matte one, and I shine him up, because this is dry now, and you'll see it's quite something. Let's do the ribbon. It just gets bright and shiny, and it's that easy. See how it catches the light now? Now, there you go. You get it. So this is a matte piece there. Now you see it? Because I let it dry. Now I'm going to go in with my... Now it's shiny. See? It's like I've embossed it. So it's like UV spot in print. You know when you get expensive cards and there are little flashes of really glossy, just the word or the hat or just what we're doing here. The great news is that the red Posca pen and the white Posca pen, they do that for you. Well, I'm guessing that all Posca pens are going to do that for you then. You just need to buff them. There you go. So let's have a look. What have we got next? I'm just going to pan out a little bit and then we can see where we are, where we want to finish. So the next thing is, of course, I've got my die pieces. So I can now decide whether I want to go red in the background or whether I want to go blue in the background, tealy blue. And now, if you're wondering where I got those colours from, let me see if that's a little bit sharper. I took them from, also in the sale, of course, we've got Antarctica, which is marvellous for all your teals and blues. And then Waimea Falls, because I wanted a really lovely Christmas festive red. Okay. And this works really well, right? I can't, you know, it's one thing when you see it already done, but let me tell you, I'm going to show you, if I take this particular die, because like I say, I'm not a die person, but I want to show you just how classy this looks and how easy it is. So I've gone for Antarctica, and I'm just going to take that tealy colour out of there. When you look at Antarctica, if you like blues and pinks, then this is the set for you. Got some fantastic colours in there. Okay, so that's the one I've gone for. And let me just take this particular colour, and let me just move all this out of the way for a minute. I'll pop that in there. And then I'm going to take my sandwich. Because I know there are loads of you out there as well, like me, who wonder which sandwich. You need a die cutting machine, obviously, it's a die. So I'm going to go for a thick plate. Then I'm going to put a poly bag on there, like that, just so that it doesn't get all embedded in the... See, if you use a black one, for example, and you go straight on there, then all the little bits of black go in there. And then you use a white piece of card afterwards, and then all little black slivers are in your white card. So this protects. And I find that it's easier to cut out on this as well. So let me just take that, and I'm not gonna put it bang in the middle. I'm gonna put it over to one side like so, because I can use this, it's useful. Although having said that, if you were to put it in the middle, then you can also use it as like for larger, you've gutted the middle and then you've got an edge for the larger piece. So there is that to be said as well. But I'm going to just hold it in place there and there like that. That'll work. Then I'm going to use a magnetic shim. Our dies work on all die cutting machines. And then I've got another mat. So from the side, I've got a thinner 3mm, 5mm magnetic shim, and then that should do the job. So I'm just going to use I've got a kit and caboodle. I like it. Now let's see if it works. Hear it crunch a bit, then you know it's working. Okay. And then we'll have a look, and you'll see just how crisp these dies are. So if I lift this off now, okay, let's just check this out. And I'm just going to take that off there. And then you'll notice that I put the low tack tape off the card, right? Because it does stick. Then I'm going to take this out. So let's have a look. Right, so that's in there now, see? And then let me see if I've got a bin or something, so I don't sprinkle the whole place with confetti. But I just want to show you how effective this is. If I just get it started, watch. There. It don't get much easier than that. Look. And that is cuts like butter. Isn't that fantastic? I know. So the number for that one is 31384. And then you see you've got all the white in there. So you could just go through. Because I know, you know, this has got a special kind of Teflon coating. Our fresh cut dies have got a Teflon coating on them, which makes it really easy to release pieces. Now, I know that there are dies out there that don't have that. And it's quite a challenge to get the pieces out. You're picking away. You know, I've seen people when they start banging the dies, like banging them on the counter to get rid of all the pieces. And I think, That can't do the blade much good, but that's just my opinion and I know what I'm talking about. Ready? So I'm going to pop that one there to one side. I just wanted to show you the quality, really. Now I've got choices now. I've got 3 pieces. So you see, you could have a nice little session. I've got a 5 by 5 inch card. And now I've got the colour that I fancy, like that. I've got that one. That's the one we just did together. Or I can use the red one because he's got a super red shiny hat. And then you can see I've put Merry Christmas. I've picked a Merry Christmas from another set just to add a little. And the way that I did that as well, let me just show you, because that's worth knowing, because I needed it to be small, but because of this here, that I wanted to sort of put that over the top there like an extra layer, you see. And so what I did was I stamped it onto here. So this little Merry Christmas, I think it comes from the BIP set. Here we are, look. So this little Merry Christmas comes from the actual BIP set that we're talking about today. So if I just go up to the BIP set, 1172 gets you this set. Merry Christmas, let's celebrate, happy birthday. So let's just take this little guy. Let's just take that Merry Christmas. It's a lovely little size, right? And then I'm just going to stamp that rather than straight onto the, just going to stamp that onto the piece of card. So usually what I do is I stamp it there, then there, then there, and then you can go into mass production really. And then you just cut it out like that. And then I've edged it actually with this. So all I've done is taken my pen and just gone round like that. So you just dig in with your, see? And that's how you get a really nice fine edge. Like that. You can use Perga colours, do the same thing. But obviously the colour, this is the colour. And then I'm just going to pop that on there. And that's it, done. So that, my friends, thus endeth demo number 1. How's that? Good, that'll do. Right. So how are you doing? Everybody happy? I want to show you a stencil demo now. But like I say, if you look at the screen, you'll see the BIP set. If you like the stamp set, just for the words, really, it's gorgeous. If you like the stamp set, then please treat yourself because it's in the Grey Friday set. And I tell you what we're going to do. I can't see the comments right now, but I can see that there are plenty of you in the room. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to give away, this is a personal Merry Christmas card from yours faithfully. I'm going to give away one of these nice cards to one of you. And what I want you to do is just write in the comments as you go down now, just write BIP the Bear. Just write BIP the Bear, BIP the Bear, okay? And then what we'll do is at the end of the show, we'll scroll down and we'll find a winner. And then we'll send you the card. All you need to do then is give us your email address. I will get your email address one way or another. And then that's how we'll know who to send one of these cards to. How does that sound? Okay, so I think that's a good idea. Right, next thing. I've done that. Sam Crow asks, are you putting something on the blending pen? Hi, Sam. And no, it's dry. The nib is dry and it just buffs up that acrylic. That'll be so good for you. That spot UV, Sam, on journaling and on mixed media, just to add that gloss, you know, without actually having to use gloss. Yeah, nice, huh? So yeah, no, I'm not using anything. So I've done that one. And now let's take a look at this. Let's do this particular card together. So it's Mini Makes Monday. So actually this is a tiny little card. Okay, and what are we going to use? Well, let me just put this stuff to one side and let's change channels for a minute. I want to use one of our half-price stencils. This is a great stencil, 00305. Now, how do I get that size from there? Well, let's just use a part of it. And what we're going to do now, let me just put this over one side. I'm going to go straight onto, which is not like, I don't often do this, but I think I'm going to use the 4x4 just straight onto like that. And I'm going to take my stencil. This is why I wanted to do it like this, so that you could see exactly where it goes. So you see, you're going to take your stencil and you're going to load it exactly where you want to see it, like that. So I'm going to pop that in there, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm happy with the position, like that. Okay, and I'll turn that over, and then I'll use some low-tack tape. Let's just use some low-tack tape, and let's just hold that in place while I'm working. Okay, that'll do. Right, and then I'm happy with that position, but it's like, where does it want to stop? So you can see the idea is that I'm going to use my masking tape now. I'm going to take a bit of masking tape, low-tack tape. And is it in the sale? Yes, it is. And I'm just going to come round here like this. There you go. And I think that'll do nicely. So that's my tree right there, like that. Okay, so it's holding it in place. I've established the base of the tree here. That'll do. Okay, I've done that, done that. Low-tack masking tape. Yeah, here it is. Also in the sale. So you can get one roll on its own, 31211, or 4 rolls, 31212, 30% off, plus your club discounts. That's pretty cool. Right, so what do we need next? Let me just bear with me a second while I get all my bits and pieces. Right, let's have a look. It's my little stash. Let's have a look at my stash. We can look at it together. Okay, that way I'll know what I've got. Right, I've got my 4x4s. Cool. Check. Low-tack masking tape. Check. 2 children. Check. 2 children. Check. Merry Christmas with my favourite font in the world. That comes from, I'll tell you where that comes from. The holly that I did for Eileen Godwin. Merry Christmas. Season's greetings. Absolutely love this font. Okay, so I've got Merry Christmas off there. I've got a ruler, got another ruler, so I can do that clever trick again with the sides bit. I've got a black archival ink pad because I need that to stamp Merry Christmas and the children. Black archival. And then I'm getting there. So those are the stamps. And there are my colours to do the colouring in on the thing. Then I've got my red thingamajiggy. Got that because I definitely used the red on there to get a bit of spot UV again. And then I must have used, what else have I got here? Posca pen, micron pen. I needed a micron pen to highlight the star. See, got a little bit of a micron pen there. A little bit of red and a little bit of white Posca pen as well. Where's that gone then? Well, I know we had it. I've got a bit of silver going on as well here. Because well, it's already metallic, so that shines up nicely. Here we go. There it is. Right, white Posca pen. And then I have my colours. Mustard seed, peeled paint, and prize ribbon, and a brush, and a spot-on sponge. And that'll do. Right, now let's see. What have I got here? Well, I know what I need. Did I put blending pen on the list? Blending mat? Not sure why I had this in the box this morning. At 6 o'clock this morning, I thought, why did I put this in the box yesterday? And then I couldn't remember. But it's definitely good for blending colours. And I definitely need a spot-on sponge. which is also in the sale. Just saying, folks. Sale ends at midnight tonight. So you've got one of these packs, 30537. Four of these packs, 30537. Four of them, 31215. There you go. What can I say? Excellent. Right, now, so in order to add a bit of colour, I want to make sure that I don't put ink all over the counter. So I'm going to use yellow in the pounce yellow through the star. That's the first thing I want to do. Okay, so we're going to get the yellow going through this. That's cool. Right, that'll do. And then I'm going to use peeled paint. Okay, we'll do a bit of green because I feel like, oh, hello. It's got a life of its own. Right, a bit of green. Let me take this lovely sellable stencil out of the way. Right, okay. So a bit of green. I say we go, I know what I want to do. Come on, tell me, what do I need to do? That's right. If I don't cover up that yellow star, it won't be yellow for much longer. So we'll just add a little bit of masking tape like that. Right, here we go. This will be nice. So we'll add a bit of green to this side. Actually, let's just add a bit of green to the tree. Yeah. Okie dokie. Now, where's that? This is what it looks like. Right, so a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, I mean, on both sides. Yeah? Happy with that? I reckon. That looks good. Okay. And then, if you wanted to, you could just sweep through a little bit of yellow through that side because it just changes the tone a little bit. All right? So that'll do. Then on the other side, I'm going to put a bit of blue because I think it just will look nice. So I'll put the yellow on that lid, put the green, we're using peeled paint, and then I'm going to use a bit of blue here. Now, what do I think? Do I want to go in with a brush? Oh, in for a penny. Let's see what I've got if I do that. Okay, brushes tend to give you a softer sweep, don't they? So the whole idea is here, what we're doing is we're really using the whole big stencil, but in a much more comfortable way. For me, you know, I think it's really useful that I can, oh, hello, that I can use the big stencil to make a little tree. So that means I could make, with one stencil like this, I could make a whole background like we did this morning. I could use the same stencil to make 3 or 4 different trees, all different heights. Do you see? Now I reckon that'll probably look quite good. Let's have a go. Just brush that through. A bit darker on that side. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's just check what we're doing. I love it. There you go. So that'll do, I think. Yes, yes. That's that done. So I've got my tree. I think I've got plenty there. Right now, if I'm going to start stamping on here, though, I want to use, because this is flapping, I need to just secure that. So while I'm stamping my children into place, it's not, I don't meet the card before I want to, sort of thing. Now I've got one little boy. Yeah, I've got one little boy, and then I've got one little girl. So let's get these in place. And that's just, one's for test. Nice. All right, one's for test. And he's hanging a bauble on that tree. So we might make it logical. Nice. Right, so he's there. And then we've got a little girl, and she's hanging a star. So you offer up the stamp, decide where she stands. Right, make it logical. One's for test and one's for best, remember? So we'll just pop that on there. Nice. Okay. And then we're going to pop her. So she's, where's she? She's quite tall, isn't she? There we are. So they're in place now. Nice, eh? Very nice. And then what we're going to do, right, is decorate the tree. So we've got them in place. I suggest that we do all the stamping and then we do the doodling. So let's get Merry Christmas in as well. Yeah, let's get Merry Christmas in. Let's make sure that the stamp is nice. Yeah, beautiful. This is a gorgeous stamp. Right, and we're just going to pop that there, quite close to the tree. Isn't that lovely? Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so we've done that. I think we've done all the stamping that we need to do now. And now we're going to decorate the tree. So let's have a think. What did I do? Well, I think looking at what I did here. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's why the silver was in the packet. I know. I decorated the tree with a silver Posca pen. Of course I did. Right, let's have a look. So this has definitely been a day for trees, isn't it? Let's get this one started. So you could use white as well, or you could use silver. What should we do? Silver's good. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so we can just add, let's go round. I wonder if I'm going to use white, only because, well, no, you should be able to see this. I tell you what, we'll make sure you see it because I'm going to highlight it in a minute. So we're going to go round the tree like that, and then when we get to her, we avoid, right? Then we're going to go like that, round the outside like that. And when you come over the edge of the tree, so it looks like you're actually going round it. That's better. Right, so then we're going to come back down here again. And when you get to her, you've got to stop. Go through her dress, right, like that. Have you already decorated your tree? Have you? Have you? Wow. Yeah, no, I'm not quite there yet. That's all right. It's not. It's okay. It will all get done, won't it? There you go. So this is a little bit of bling. I don't know if you can see this. Let's come in a bit closer. I think you can see that better now, can't you? Right. So that's a bit of silver. And then, for example, now, I wonder if, let's just get some silver baubles going. I'm going to mix these up a bit now. Bit of silver. And then I'm going to put some white on there as well, and some red. So this is a lovely tree. There you go. So we've got that one. Let's get some red on. Let's get some red going. White and red. So I'm going to put some white. I'm going to put some white baubles on as well. Just get the acrylic paint flowing, or the acrylic ink. There you go. So silver Posca pens, red Posca pens, white Posca pens. This is definitely the day of the Posca pens. Looks so nice though. Right, that'll do. Right, we'll let that dry for a moment. And then we're going to use the red one. So let's just get some red going as well. Nice. Okay. Yeah, very good. Simple. Happy Monday and happy Mini Makes Monday, hey? Because that's really a lot of what this is about. And you can see as well, I don't have to do it, but you can see, you know exactly how I did the borders that ties it all together. But what we're going to do now as well is we're just going to outline. See, look at the difference between that one and that one. Do you see how this one pops a lot more, doesn't it? This one here pops a lot more than that one. So let's see what we can do. It needs to be dry. I need to get my Dame Edna's on. I probably should have put them on about 10 minutes ago. Right. Oh, yeah, I wish I had. But that's okay. And then I need my Micron pen. This is it. So what we'll do first, we'll add a bit of dimension to make this star pop. Okay. And we'll take, and that'll give the ink a little chance to dry as well. So let's just get the star right. There we go. So we just pop a little bit of depth. That makes a difference right there, doesn't it? Hey? And then we're going to take the silver and we're going to outline it all the way. So I'm holding the pen kind of perpendicular, upright. Okay? And then I'm going to go all the way around the silver like this. And you'll see it completely changes it. When you get to her, and those little wee folk figures, there's so much mileage in those little sets. Let's have a look what we're doing here. Let's just check what we're doing from the front. Cool, yeah? Doesn't that make a difference? So just either side of the silver, that'll make it pop beautifully. It's got a lovely shimmer to it. And I'm sorry if you can't see that so well on telly. But we've had a nice afternoon, haven't we? Tomorrow, lovely Louise will be here at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon as well. So I'm just hoping that Paul's feeling a bit better. Right, there you go. And then we can outline the silver and the red. Not the red, the white. I'm going to do the diamonds and the baubles. There we go. And you can hang them. There. There we go. Nice. There. What a simple, effective way to use a large stencil. And then the last thing I did was I went round the outside, all the way around the outside. And this time, really, really lightly, okay? So we're going to go all the way around. Just make it pop. And you'll see. So you can imagine if you did a whole bunch of trees together, this would look so cool. There, have a look. The last thing we need to do, once we've done this, is just anchor the children so that they're not floating. That's easy. And then we're going to pick a winner for one of those Christmas tree cards. No, BIP cards. BIP cards. Right, now I need a grey pencil. That'll do. Grey pencil. And we're just going to flick just gently. Excuse my head. Sorry about that. There we go. So we just flick like that. And from her toes, both ways. That's it. And then, to be honest, I don't think there's much more to do. Maybe a little bit of shadow underneath the tree. But that's it, my friends. There you go. And then if you take that away, so you need to hold it like that while you're working. And then you see how we can change the colour. So you get how it's done now, how you can add and take away. But the main idea was to be able to show you, let me just come out a little bit, how to use just one part of the stencil, just the top part, and you could use, you know, you could make tiny little trees that size, just that little bit, that little bit, that little bit. There are so many different sizes of trees. Just remember, if you're using the star, that you cover up the star when you do the... So let's have a look. And the let's just have a little recap, if that's okay with you. I'll just do a little recap and thus endeth the 2 o'clock show. We've only gone over by half an hour. What's wrong with that? 2 little demos, smashing. So let me just show you a couple of the, just to recap, and then I'll let you go. So the first thing up on today's show was BIP the Bear, brand new set of stamps included in the sale. That's 12242 for a mere £11.72. You save £5 plus your club discount. Then, of course, it wouldn't be the same without our BIP the Bear in Groovi, same celebration plate, also in the sale, and that's just £7.34 today, plus club discounts. Then there was that clever stencil. This is half price, which is a really versatile Christmas stencil, useful, very, very useful stencil for just £3.25 plus your club discount. Then we've got the wee folk. These are probably some of our most classic stamps. Just used them in that set with the stencil. That's saving £6.29. So it's £14.69 instead of £20.98. Great price for those sets. Then, of course, we've got the Faber-Castell. So these are the essential set of 12. We use them in the shack all the time. 31031. And then we've got the 4 seasons. We've got spring 31900, set of 6. We've got summer 31901, set of 6, special colors. Autumn 31902, fantastic set. And then the winter set, gorgeous. I picked them myself, and that is 31903. Really nice. Then, of course, we had the red Posca pen, which it turns out goes glossy if you buff it with a blending pen. Really cool. And the blending pen thing about the nibs is because they're so fine, they can get into the finest red lines too. We got the white one back in stock. We sold out of that one. That's back in stock. Just £3.80 there. And then, of course, there was that really cool nested square film strip die. Instead of £25, you're only paying £17.49. You save £7.50 plus your club discount. So if you're not a club member, you might want to consider joining. Apart from all the other benefits and the brilliant education and the brilliant products, brand new designs, and project sheets that you receive every month, of course, you also get additional discount. And who is the winner? Let me scroll. Hang on a minute. Let me come back to you and we'll have a look. So let me just scroll down until we find the name. I can't look. Okay, so I've got to look away. Right, let me scroll and look away. This is a challenge. Okay. Amanda Daly. Amanda Daly? There you go. Amanda Daly. That's the person who won the Christmas card today. Thank you so much, BIP the Bear. All I can see is BIP the Bear, BIP the Bear, BIP the Bear. Amanda Daly, I hope that you enjoy your card. Please send us your email address, not on here, of course, but to send it to Barbara at Clarity and Barbara at claritystamp.com, and then I will know who to send the Christmas card to. So I hope that you enjoyed today. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, don't forget, today the sale ends at midnight. And so that'll be the end of the sales for a few months, actually. And take advantage of those great prices. We really appreciate your support, more now than ever before. And yeah, thanks very much for always being there and supporting and helping. Grace, thanks to you too for helping out in the shack or in the room. I'm sure our friends appreciate your help too. Lots of love. Go easy. Have a great day. Dress up warm and stay inside and make something. It's far better than running around the shops. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.